slowly into theater and talked to a few friends of mine, and I said, "Listen, I want to do a demo tape." And I put together a demo tape. Half of it was fake, actually, and I just read some stuff out of a magazine, doing a different range of things, and some commercials that I'd actually been lucky enough to do in the past, and put it together and got an agent. And
very
actually,
nice.
Yeah. And in voice acting, I actually got into anime because a friend of mine who's an actor in Houston just told me, listen, ADV Films is having open auditions. They had open auditions this was 1998, I think, and they had open auditions every other month. And so I just showed up and met Matt Greenfield at ADV and did an open call for a small role, and got I didn't get that role, but I got a different one. So I started just doing some small roles, and then it took off from there. ADV blew up after that, and the whole anime scene got really big for at least a decade. And I've been doing that for about 10 years. Yeah. So
you actually got to see the anime booms, sort of the beginning and the after effects. Was it sort of amazing? Did you think it would just explode like that?
I was really surprised, actually. It was really exciting because a lot of my friends in Houston who are actors, if you're an actor in Houston, you've probably done some anime at some point or another. A lot of my friends, Vic Mignogna started here in Houston, and Jason Douglas and Chris Patton and Lucy Christian and Monica Rial, they were all Houstonians. And some of them ended up working at ADV, et cetera. And I knew Tiffany Grant because she used to work for an agent that I had a long time ago. So it's a real tight knit community. But I was really surprised when it took off like that. It just got huge, and we kind of rode that wave, I guess.
And now all of you guys are sort of working for the in-house company Funimation, correct?
Mm-hmm. I think all of us have done work for Funimation. I met Mike McFarland a long time ago at a convention, and I said, I knew he worked for Funimation. I'd heard about Funimation, and I said, I want to try to get my foot in the door. And I asked him what I could do, and he said, cut together a demo. And I'm also a video editor because I went to UT Film School, so I'm a video editor by trade, and I also do voice work. And so I put together a demo of just some different anime material I had done for ADV and showed it to Mike, and then I started working for Funimation about 6 years ago.
And now,
started working on. Go ahead.
Oh, I apologize. I was going to ask, how was the transition between one home base to another home base, essentially?
It was just fine. The only catch with working at Funimation, of course, is that they're up in Dallas, and you've got to either make the drive or fly up there, and you just kind of. If they ask you at first if you feel like doing that, but otherwise it was very smooth. I mean, both companies really ran a tight ship and knew what they were doing. So it wasn't really any more difficult than just driving out to Dallas and back.
Very nice. And you were explaining, I believe, your first show at Funimation?
Oh yeah, it was Galaxy Railways with Mike McFarland. And that was Chris Patton was in that too. A lot of people that I knew were in that. But it was I was playing Captain Bulge. It's a very strange name, but Captain Bulge of the Big One, which is just bizarre, and the ship that he was flying. But I think Chris Patton was the lead in that as a friend of mine, and that was a really fun show. But
I could just imagine the jokes in the booth for that one.
Of course, yeah, a lot of fun. I'm like, come on, you're kidding. What's my name again? And then we've done a lot of stuff at the Funimation. I worked with Mike again on Trinity Blood, which was a really fun show, the vampire show. And then we had, let's see, what else did we do up there? Basilisk and One Piece. I got to play Mihawk in One Piece, which was that's a huge series, still going on. And gosh, there was some more up there. Yeah, Basilisk was a big one. We're working on Black Butler actually right now. I think I'm going up on Monday to record some of that for Colleen Klinkenbeard.
Oh, very nice. And can you explain a little bit about the story or the role for those who haven't seen it yet or haven't heard about it?
Actually, Black Butler, the only time that I've recorded was a couple of weeks ago. And it's a lot of British, it's a British role. So I'm more sophisticated and talk like this, don't you know? And I'm playing I'm playing an older gentleman who is kind of investigating a series of crimes and murders with the local police. And that's probably all I should give away right now.
I can understand. I know that one's still a little bit under wraps, considering I think the second season or something is airing in Japan, somewhere off in a faraway land. So that's really nice, though, that you're still expanding and you're still going after new projects all the time then.
Mm-hmm. I try, yeah.
And now,
Funimation going on, yeah.
And now I'm wondering, do you have any role that now that you've got all this experience, you would go back and do over again with a different sort of?
That's a good one. I think, I was usually used for the most part I think more for range than having a certain distinctive lead character voice. A lot of directors would rely on me to do, deeper voice roles and a little more of a range. I was playing a lot of different kinds of supporting characters, often in the midst of one show. I think for one show with ADV a long time ago, I played like 8 different characters. Throughout the whole season, they just said, I want you to do this and I want you to do that. I think I've only had a couple of actual lead roles. Hakuro and Uruhaya Ramono. ADV was the first complete, actual lead I had. I've put some secondary leads, like in Area 88 or Battle of Dunbine, Bubblegum Crisis, and Cromartie High School, which is probably my favorite show that I did over at ADV. But I think if I could go back and do a role, it would be, oh gosh, that's a good one. Captain Bulge, I'd call him something different. No, I'd go back and do probably Nigel from Bubblegum Crisis. He was really he was very zen. He was very low key, and it was my first big role. So I'd probably have a very different take on it at this point.
Very awesome. And over here at 91.8, the fan headquarters, we're going to take a short break, but don't go anywhere because I'm going to end up butchering our guest names even more. So stay tuned to your favorite station. Everything you want, nothing.
918thefan.com. Have you logged on today?
Who, me? No. No?
iStock's daily news show, video reviews, articles, forums, in an anime directory. Don't get left behind. Log in today. Only on
918thefan.com?
918thefan.com.
All right, 918thefan.com.
Hey everybody, we're back with my super special awesome guest. We're talking behind the scenes where you can't hear, which means haha for you, but actually no, we'll talk about it. We were talking about your recent role in Halo Legends and how actually your video editing came, in use for that.
Yeah, it was great. Joey Gabo over at ADV gave me a call, and we were both working in the past at the same editing facility. We were at a post-production house. We both worked at the same place, and so he knew that I was a video editor, and he asked me if I wanted to do some extra work, and I got to edit some of the behind-the-scenes extras on the DVD for Halo Legends that just came out. So it was kind of funny. I was in the studio with Stephen Foster recording one of the lead roles in one of the episodes, The Duel. I was playing the character of Fall, which is a really interesting piece on Halo Legends. It's animated in a very unique way, like watercolor painting. If you've seen the DVD, it's really cool. And I played Fall, and then I would go come on the weekend to ADV, and then I was wearing a different hat as an editor, and I would cut the behind-the-scenes features, which were really, really awesome. They were very interesting because the team behind Halo Legends really went all out to produce very different stories. They went to different studios, completely, like 4 or 5 completely different studios, who would each take on one of the episodes they were trying to put together for the Halo universe, as it were, and came up with some really varied and interesting stuff. So it's been out on DVD and Blu-ray for a while now, and that was really fun to work on.
That sounds like it, and as I said, behind the scenes, that's very cool that, your video editing can actually help during your voice acting jobs, too.
Yeah, right. In fact, Vic Mignogna and I knew each other from when I was working in video full-time, because he was actually a client of mine. I didn't meet him through anime. I met him through he was a video client of mine. He came to our facility where I worked, and he was producing some videos. Vic does a lot of different stuff. He's a video producer. He's an audio producer. He writes music. He's a multifaceted guy. And he came by as a client, and we were cutting a video one day. And I think he told this story too, so I won't be saying anything he hasn't told anybody. But he asked me what else I did, and I said, "Listen, you've got quite a voice." Vic has got this very interesting kind of higher pitched voice, actually, which really serves anime pretty well. You know, he did because most people know him from Full Metal Alchemist, and he had to play Everett Elric, and he was a really little pipsqueak of a guy, so he's able to do that with his voice really easily. And I said, you know, you ought to go audition for ADV. They have auditions all the time. I think you should be good at it. And he took off and auditioned with it, and he blew up after that. He just ran with it. And
Very
so
cool.
That was pretty. Yeah. Vic and I go back. But I knew quite a few people from. I knew different people, either from theater or from the video world, who also got into anime.
So you've had your hands in a bunch of different pies then.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I've been a video editor since I graduated from college and UT, like I said, and then just slowly got into anime after that. And I do theater on the side. I work with a theater company here in Houston called Masquerade Theater. We mostly do musicals, but we do about 6 shows a year, and that takes the nighttime hours up. That eats up your time, but that's a lot of fun to be on stage.
Now, I'm curious, for your theater or your video editing or anime, do you have anything upcoming that you want to tell the fans about?
Well, aside from Black Butler that we're recording at Funimation, not really. I work in, I've got a YouTube page that just has some of my video editing stuff and voiceover demos on. It's youtube.com/jgrem2000, which that's even worse than Gremillion. People make fun of jgrem2000 more than they'll ever make fun of my last name. Because I signed up for it in the year 2000 and they didn't let me change it. So my friends always come up and go, "Hey man, jgrem2000. It sounds like a new lawnmower or some kind of stupid thing."
Well, now I know what to call you if we have you back on.
Hey, yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. I'm just shooting myself in the foot. But that's where a lot of our work is posted up there, as well as voiceover demos and stuff like that.
And now I'm curious, for the fans out there that want to keep updated with what's going on in your life or what's going on in your career, how can they, do you have a Facebook or a Twitter? Do you do that sort of online thing?
I do have a Facebook page. Let me bring it up here because on Facebook.
I know, Facebook has been very slow today, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, no problem. It's got its own, they give you a unique address. It's facebook.com/jgremillion1, number 1. That's the one that's the actual page of the profile.
Very cool. And I was wondering, is there anything else you'd like to tell the listeners out there?
You know, thanks for being so supportive for everybody, for every actor that works in anime. It's really, we deeply appreciate it. We would be nowhere without you. And we just appreciate very much that people stick with us and love the material and keep coming to conventions and keep us happy and employed. We love doing it for you.
Well, we love it when you guys are employed too. So it's a fair trade-off.
It works for everybody.
And I'm curious, before we let you go, would you be willing to participate in a 91.8 The Fan tradition?
Sure. What's that?
We ask everybody who comes on if they'd be willing to say a line for us.
Say a line from a show?
Basically a bump. The line actually is, "My name is, I do this, and you're tuned into 91.8 The Fan." And we do it live on air for bloopers.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So whenever you're ready, or if you need me to say it again.
Right now, okay. Let's see. Hi, I'm John Gremillion, and you're listening to 91.8 The Fan.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And if it makes you feel better, we've heard that goof 1,010 times, so you're okay.
All right. Thanks so much for having me.
And thank you so much for being on the show. We really appreciated it. And for everybody out there who missed any of the interview, stay tuned because it'll be on the website in the next few days. Keep it tuned to 91.8 The Fan. Everything you want, nothing you don't.